Peace and elevation, family. This is your brother Mike X. Welcome to my YouTube channel, BruthaMikeXSpeaks. Please like this video. Please share and subscribe this video. I hope that you get something out of the message, the quick message that I want to deliver. I hope that you will share it to your friends, with your neighbors, your associates. You know what I mean? We know that the world is enamored, admires our ability or abilities to sing and dance and act, you know what I mean, and play sports. We know that they love our culture, but we also know that they don't love us. You know what I mean? How do we know that they don't love us? Because they don't afford us the right to practice freedom, to practice autonomy, to practice sovereignty, to practice self-determination the way they practice those qualities. This is why we can find, Little Italies, Chinatowns, little Koreas. We can find geographic communities, spaces and places that they bend to their will and have established, many moons ago, where they're able to own and control their own communities that offer, safety and security to them and their progeny and their elders, places where they control their own economies. They control the politics and the policies of how those communities are run, And those communities a lot of times exist for the exclusive benefit of those racial, cultural, ethnic communities, And that's all well and good. We don't have a problem with that. The problem is that we're not allowed to do the same thing. We're not allowed to have autonomous, sovereign communities of our own where we control the economics, where we control the politics and the policies, where we control the businesses, where we control the schools and the curriculums of the schools, where we own and control the real estate that we live in, you know what I mean? And we're able to carve out and maintain communities of our own where our children can be brought up in love and safety. Do you know what I mean? And where our elders can enjoy the latter years of their lives, offering the hard-fought and gained wisdom and understanding of their advanced age and experiences for the benefit of those coming up behind them, where they can enjoy peace and safety as they get ready to move on from this earthly plane. You know what I mean? So we can't force them to love us, but we can live in a way where we force them to respect us. And a lot of times, as it said, is you teach people how to treat you by the way that you treat yourself, you know? And there used to be a time where we were more reserved and more dignified in the way that we treated ourselves. We had greater self-love and self-respect, you know, in the ways that we got along with one another, husbands and wives and families and communities. We interacted with one another better because we had to, you know. The thing about the oppression that we suffer from today is it's more undercover today, you know, than it used to be. You know, the language that is used today is not as abrasive and oppressive on the face of it. Unless it's, you know, you're dealing with a straight out, unashamed, you know, member of the clan or something like that, you know. But a lot of times today, those people who enjoy the greatest benefit of our lack of love, our lack of self-respect and dignity, the ones who enjoy the greatest economic, political, and social benefits and power, you know, they sell you the food that you depend upon having because you've been kept from growing and raising your own food. They'll sell you the clothes, you know, that you need to clothe yourself because for the most part, we've been kept from being able to make our own clothing. They'll rent high-priced, inferior housing to you because for the most part, we've been kept in recent years from being able to own and control our own housing, you know. So they'll do all of those things because there's a tremendous amount of money and power that they derive from providing you with these things. But that doesn't mean that they love you, you know. And this is why a lot of times, like I've said, we can't depend upon other races and other ethnicities to have a change of mind, a change of heart, and to want to see us empowered, because us empowered would cut into their leverage that they hold over us. You know, our empowerment would mean, in a lot of instances, their disempowerment over the control that they have over us through our dependency upon them. So they're not going to lead any movement to free us. They're not going to really contribute to any movements to help us to begin to practice a greater dignity and self-love and self-respect, you know, because again, they enjoy too much wealth and too much power by things remaining as they are, you know, by us being and remaining nothing but entertainers of others, you know. So they'll give individuals amongst us, they'll pay individuals a lot of money to be an entertainer. But a lot of times the community that entertainer came from is still kept in poverty, impoverishment, disempowerment. You know what I mean? And it doesn't benefit the greater number amongst us to have 1 or 2 millionaires that we try to live vicariously through. So again, family, we have to learn how to begin Again, because we used to practice self-love. We used to practice self-respect. We used to practice dignity within this country because we knew that besides the Creator, the Most High, that we were all we had, you know? And, you know, the civil rights movement, you know, opened up the doors, you know, from segregation, from white only facilities. You know, now we can ride on the back or in the front of somebody else's bus. We can patronize their businesses. But we lost the mindset to have businesses of our own. We lost the mindset to have communities of our own. You know what I mean? And while they have exclusive communities and neighborhoods that are designated for their race, for their culture, for their ethnicity, they have their own communities. They also have ours. They also own the real estate in ours. They also have ownership of 99.9%, if not 100%, of the businesses in our communities as well. And at sundown, like Malcolm said so many years ago, they take those baskets full of money to other parts of the town or other parts of the country or other parts of the world. Those baskets full of money represent the resources that we should be pooling and using to build the schools, the businesses, to buy the real estate, and to pass on legacies of empowerment to our children. But we can't do that if we don't have ownership, if we don't have vested interest, if we don't have a stake in the economy of our own communities, like other people are showing you that a successful racial, ethnic, cultural group needs to make this so-called American dream work. If we continue to give away all of our money to other races, ethnicities, and cultures, and we prevent ourselves from investing in the infrastructure and owning the infrastructure and owning economically, politically, you know, our own communities, our children will continue to be criminalized. If we leave nothing for them to inherit, they will turn to illegal means to survive. And they will continue to be fodder, so to speak, for the foster care system, for the group homes, for the juvenile justice system, in prelude for the penitentiaries within this country. And others will continue to feed on us while they show and prove that they don't love us. You know what I mean? The same way that money is being given to Ukraine, the same way money is being given to the influx of immigrants into this country in order to help them, is the same way that our community deserves to be helped, because we have done more for this country than anyone. There wouldn't be an America if it wasn't for black people, historically and presently. A lot of this rests upon the fact that we are only almost totally dependent upon other races, ethnicities, and cultures for our survival at this point. And like I said, we can't depend upon those people who have gained great power through our downfall to fight to change things. We have to depend upon ourselves, because we're the only ones who don't have a vested interest in things remaining as they are. We're not getting anything out of this arrangement. So we're the only ones who want things to change. And we have to stop allowing ourselves to sink to new levels of self-hatred and self-degradation. As the oppression, as the disempowerment continues, not only are we allowing our children to become criminalized, but a lot of us are trauma bonding. A lot of us are practicing misery loves company. A lot of us are practicing addictions and addictive behaviors just to survive. You know what I mean? So having said that, I don't want to stretch this out too long, but family, let's take a greater stock in showing love and appreciation to ourselves as individuals, as a people. You know what I mean? Peace and elevation.